Did you know that by tomorrow, you'll forget nearly 70% of what you studied today? It's not just you. Every student faces this invisible memory leak. You spend hours poring over textbooks, highlighting key points, and feeling productive. But the next morning, it's as if the knowledge evaporated overnight. Frustrating, right? Be honest. How many times have you stayed up late, highlighter in hand, desperately hoping the information would stick? You go to bed anxious, and during the exam, your mind goes blank. That sinking feeling, it's not your fault. Your brain isn't designed to remember things this way. Here's what your teacher never told you. The reason you forget isn't a lack of effort, it's the method. Traditional techniques like rereading and highlighting feel busy, but your brain treats them like background noise, just like an Instagram ad you scroll past without a second thought. Your brain is wired to clear out unused information. It's called the forgetting curve. But here's the catch. In Japan, students memorize over 200 kanji characters, complex symbols, and retain them for life, not just for a test. So what's their secret? It's not intelligence or more study hours. They've been using a set of brain-friendly methods for centuries, and today, I'll reveal those hacks to you. The forgetting curve is a silent destroyer. Within 24 hours, your brain dumps nearly everything unless you use it. Traditional studying, rereading, highlighting, gives you the illusion of mastery, but it's like pouring water into a leaky bucket. Your brain needs active retrieval, not passive review. The Japanese figured this out long ago. They treat learning like a garden, not a warehouse. What if you could hack your brain and break this cycle? Japanese students have been doing it for centuries. Not by studying harder, but by studying smarter. You don't need to read hundreds of research papers. I've done the spade work for you. Here are 5 science-backed hacks that turn your brain into a memory machine. Let's break them down, one by one. Hack number 1. Active recall. The samurai approach to memory. Most students focus on input, reading, watching, highlighting. But memory strengthens through output. Think of it like training a muscle. Every time you force your brain to retrieve information, those mental connections get stronger. The struggle you feel when trying to remember, that's not failure. That's growth happening in real time. So how do you put active recall into action? It's brutally simple. Close your book, grab a blank sheet of paper, and write down everything you remember about the topic. No peeking. It'll feel frustrating at first. Your mind will draw a blank. But that's exactly the point. That cognitive struggle carves deeper neural grooves. Western students cram. Japanese students cultivate. Be the cultivator. Hack number 2. The Kumon method. Learning in small, powerful steps. This Japanese technique is all about breaking overwhelming subjects into bite-sized, manageable pieces. Instead of a 10-hour marathon session, you do a little every day. Tiny daily wins that compound. It's like building a brick wall, one brick at a time, steadily, until you have a fortress of knowledge. The popular author James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, emphasizes the same idea. Tiny changes, just 1% better each day, lead to exponential growth. The Kumon method works identically. Master a little each day instead of cramming all at once. This builds stronger recall, deeper understanding, and lifelong habits without burnout. It's the opposite of the all-nighter panic. Hack number 3. Spaced repetition, the gardening technique for your brain. Think of it like watering a plant. You don't drown it all at once. You water it just before the soil dries out. Spaced repetition works the same way. You review information just before you're about to forget it. 24 hours later, then 72 hours, then a week, then a month. Each review makes the memory root deeper. Japanese students don't wait until the night before the test. They use systematic review schedules to keep knowledge fresh. The key is to strike right when forgetting is about to kick in. You can use simple apps like Anki or a paper calendar. Mark your review dates, and let the intervals do the heavy lifting. Your brain will reward you with lasting memory. Hack number 4. Kaizen. The art of 1% daily improvement. Instead of relying on last-minute cramming, Japanese students follow continuous improvement through small, consistent steps. Even 1% better every day compounds into massive progress. No burnout, no stress, just steady mastery. And the best part? This works in just 6 minutes a day. Here's how you do it. 2 minutes of active recall, and 2 minutes of spaced repetition, and 2 minutes of focused practice. That's it. 6 minutes. In a month, you'll be 30% better. Not through heroic all-nighters, but through the quiet power of tiny habits. Japanese students have been doing this for decades. It's the tortoise strategy in a world obsessed with the hare. Hack number 5. Zanshin, the art of focus mastery. It's not just technique, it's mindset. In Japan, students practice Zanshin, a state of deep focus where they become one with the task. To create this, they use rituals that signal to the brain. It's time to learn. Think of it like a samurai preparing for battle. Every gesture is intentional. Want to boost your focus? Try this. Create a dedicated study space. Remove distractions. Use the same pen, or light a candle before studying. By turning learning into a ritual, your brain tags these moments as important, making retention easier. It's about creating a focus cue that tells your brain. Now think about the last time you truly mastered something. Maybe a sport, a video game, or a musical instrument. You didn't just watch, you practiced, failed, adjusted, and improved. That's exactly how real learning works. Learning shouldn't be a struggle. It should be smart, efficient, and dare I say, easy. So here's the choice. Go back to cramming and forgetting, or start using these Japanese methods today. The top 1% won't just see this and move on. They'll take action. The question is, will you? You don't need to change everything at once. Pick one hack, try active recall tomorrow, or set up a spaced repetition schedule, or simply light a candle and do 6 focused minutes. Small actions, huge rewards. Quick recap. 1. Active recall, output over input. 2. Kuman, small steps. 3. Spaced repetition, water your memory. 4. Kaizen, 1% improvement. 5. Zanshin, ritualized focus. This is your arsenal for lifelong learning. Use them, and you'll never struggle with memory again. Which hack will you try first? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're serious about mastering your learning, subscribe and join this community of smart learners. Every week, I share science-backed techniques that make learning not just effective, but enjoyable. Change your life one tiny step at a time. That's the easy way, actually.